My name is Emma. When I was in high school, I was the poor girl. My mom cleaned houses to feed us, including the homes of my classmates. Imagine scrubbing the bathroom of the same people who laughed at you in class. Every day, I wore the same faded jeans, a second-hand backpack, and shoes with tape holding them together. I kept my head down, hoping no one would notice me. But they did. Chloe, a rich girl with perfect hair, would smirk at me every morning. She'd say, "Emma, did your mom forget to iron your rags again?" Her friends would giggle like it was the funniest thing in the world. Then there was Liam, the guy I secretly liked. He'd laugh with them and once said, "Careful, guys, if you get too close, you might catch poor." That hurt more than I could ever admit. That night, I cried so hard my mom heard me. She sat beside me, held my hand, and said, "Emma, they can laugh today, but one day, they'll wish they were you." I didn't believe her then, but those words never left me. After graduation, everyone went off to college. I couldn't afford that, so I worked as a waitress, a cleaner, and a babysitter. 3 jobs. No sleep, no breaks, just dreams. One night, while cleaning an office, I overheard 2 businessmen talking about real estate investments, how small apartments could earn money each month. Something clicked inside me. I started studying everything about real estate, from free videos to online courses. I saved every dollar I could. Years passed. Slowly, I started buying small properties, then renovating, then renting. By 28, I was a millionaire. From nothing. But I wasn't done yet. I wanted to go back to the town where they laughed at me. 10 years later, I drove through that same neighborhood in a black Mercedes. Every corner held a memory. Then my realtor called and said, "Emma, there's a house for sale, owned by Chloe and her husband, Liam." Them? The same people who used to humiliate me? Now struggling to sell their house? I smiled and said, "Schedule the meeting." The next day, I walked into their mansion. Chloe opened the door and her face froze. "Emma, what are you doing here?" I looked around. The fancy furniture was gone. The place looked empty. "I'm the buyer," I said calmly. "Nice to see you again." Liam stepped forward, shocked. "Wait, you bought our house?" I smiled. Actually, I bought 3 in this area, but this one felt personal. They were speechless. Chloe forced a laugh. "Oh, come on, Emma. We were just kids." "Don't tell me you're still holding a grudge." I walked closer and said, "Chloe, you made me cry every single day for 4 years. You called me trash. You made me believe I'd never be more than a maid. So no, I don't hold a grudge. I hold the deed." Liam tried to speak. "Emma, please, you can't do this." I looked him in the eyes and said softly, "Sonny, you said the same thing when I asked you to stop bullying me." Then I handed them the papers. "Your rent is due Friday. No extensions." I turned around and walked out. Their silence was worth every sleepless night I'd ever had. A few weeks later, they couldn't make the payments. They were evicted from their own home, the same home I bought in cash. When I came to collect the keys, Chloe was crying. She said, "You're heartless, Emma." I replied, "No, Chloe. I just learned from the best." Then I walked away. Months later, I renovated that house and turned it into a shelter for single mothers, women like my mom who just needed a chance. That's when I realized something. Revenge isn't just about making them pay. It's about showing them you won without becoming them. So when people ask me how it feels to own the mansion of those who mocked me, I tell them this: it doesn't feel like revenge. It feels like justice. Because the maid they laughed at became the woman who owned their world.